When we're being a spectator in our sex lives, we are stuck in our head and we are so focused on what we're doing, how we sound, how our face. Welcome to Sip with Summers, the podcast where we explore sex, intimacy, and pleasure. I'm your host, Jennifer Summers, a pleasure and intimacy queen, and a soon to be certified sex coach and clinical sexologist. Welcome back, everyone. Today we have received some anonymous questions from our listeners, and this episode is all about couples Q&A. So if you have a partner and you have some sexual health questions, sit back, relax, sip on something good, and let's get into some answers. Our listener said, "Hi, so I was curious, why can't I orgasm with a partner, but I can during alone time? They're doing all the same things I do, and it's nothing." Thanks for your question. I first of all want to assure you this is completely normal. This is the third most common sexual concern that I hear from women at my parties, out and about in life. And oftentimes the culprit is medication. If you're on any type of antidepressants, 70% of women have an inability to orgasm due to their medication. So things like anti-anxiety and antidepressant medication can affect libido and orgasm. Also, keep in mind, you have been in your body your entire life and you know what feels good to you, right? Your partner may be doing all the same things that you do, but are they giving the same amount of pressure when they're doing it? Other things to consider: is there a lack of trust in the relationship? Are you having a fear of intimacy, or are you having trouble letting go? Another thing to remember is that the vagina is not the primary site of pleasure for women. For most women, it's going to be the S. So make sure clitoris is being taken care of. Keep communicating with your partner and letting them know what you like. And hey, maybe even give them a show. Show them what you enjoy so they can mimic that. Remember that you cannot make yourself have an orgasm. You just have to let it happen. Our next question is, how do you help your partner when your sex drive is super high and theirs is super low? You might be surprised to know that 60% of women report that they have a higher sex drive than their male-bodied partner. Some reasons this could be going on may be due to hormones or daily relationship issues or even poor communication. Sometimes the more we insist on having sex, the less your partner wants to have sex because they feel like they're suffocating in your desires. Or perhaps your partner is really busy and overwhelmed at work. There's a lot of overwhelm with the kids. Maybe they're traveling. Maybe there's just things going on outside of the sexual realm that are providing a lot of stress in their lives, which limits their desire. Or maybe you and your partner have a very strong, intimate connection, but you have a really busy lives that limit the time you have to be intimate with one another. To sit down with your partner and have a conversation. Find out from them how often they would like to be having sex weekly, and ask yourself that same question. How often do you want to have sex every week? If I could wave a magic wand and you got to pick any number, what is that number? Let's say you would love to have sex 6 times a week and your partner would prefer to have sex 3 times a week. You still have that connection with your partner 3 days a week. And those other 3 days, you can focus on your own pleasure with a vibrator. If you'd like your partner to be involved in that process, perhaps have them laying next to you, kissing, cuddling, and caressing your body while you enjoy your buzzing. Our next question is, what can I do to become more comfortable asking for what I want in the bedroom? I think there's this belief that a partner should know how to please their partner, especially if you've been together for a while. But you got to remember, our partners are not mind readers. They don't know what we want unless we tell them. And I know it's easier said than done because a lot of women are raised to have a lot of shame around sex, and also even just shame in general for asking what we want. Not being comfortable speaking about sex is a barrier to a satisfactory sex life. Some partners may feel embarrassed using really frank, direct language about sex, whereas others may feel like they just don't deserve that kind of sex. One activity I can offer you is going to be the red, yellow, green light exercise. You take a piece of paper and you write red, yellow, and green at the top of the paper. And then each of you are going to list sexual activities in those columns. So maybe you really love kissing, you're going to put that in the green column. Maybe you are definitely no way anal sex, put that in the red column. Do this activity and have your partner do the same activity, and then compare what are the similarities in the green column. Where are the yellow and the red showing up? Where are you connecting and where are you separate? This is going to allow you to open up the conversation because now you have a better understanding of what each other likes and doesn't like. Our next question is, what advice would you give someone who is too in their head when being intimate? Do you have advice on how to overcome that? Why, yes, I do. You've come to the right place. So this is considered spectatoring. When we're being a spectator in our sex lives, we are stuck in our head and we are so focused on what we're doing, how we sound, how our face looks. We are not in our body experiencing pleasure. We are outside of our body, focusing on all the things we're doing wrong and feeling weird and wondering, is our partner noticing that? And there's no way that you can have an orgasm when you're stuck in your brain and your brain's going 1,000 miles a minute because you think you're doing something wrong. In my experience, spectatoring often is tied to body image issues. So when we're really concerned with how our body looks and how we dislike how we feel in our body, that transfers over to sex because we are in such an intimate space of being naked and body fluids and noises and all of those things. My best advice is to let go of that. And I know that's easier said than done. It's a practice and it takes time. So doing things like learning to love your body again, thinking about what type of sex that you really enjoy and visualizing that before the sex act. Also, some good old masturbation prior to sex is a good way to get yourself in the right mindset and mood for pleasure. Our next question is, how do you be more assertive with what you like and don't like in the bedroom without being an ass? Okay, first of all, I want to assure you that asking for what you want in the bedroom does not make you an asshole. Society, religion, and shame teach us that sex is something for the man, and sex is about the man. It's not about the woman, and that is categorically false. I also recognize that so many of us were raised not understanding how to communicate what our wants and needs and desires are. So we carry that into our adult lives, and we're stuck in these adult situations not knowing how to ask for what we want. My best tip is to take a deep breath and ask for what you want. So you could say something like, hey, I really liked it when you fill in the blank. Or, I saw this video online and it got me really excited. Would you be open to trying fill in the blank? You might be surprised to discover that what you want to do, your partner is interested in as well. And all you had to do was just ask. And if it's not their thing, that's okay. You're not a bad person for wanting to try new things in the bed. This next anonymous question is from one of our female listeners. She says, my male partner loves giving me oral sex. He's the only one I've only ever let. And I enjoy it, but I've never orgasmed from it. Then I'm worried because he's down there so long. Is there something I could do differently to enjoy receiving as much as he does? The word that really sticks out to me in this question is worried. This is a form of spectating. I think that when we're so focused on the orgasm as the final result and it's not coming quick enough, we get in our heads feeling like things are taking too long. Are they still enjoying it? And there's no way you're going to be able to have an orgasm when you're stuck in your head worrying about what's going on because you're not feeling pleasure in that moment. So I would recommend clearing those negative thoughts out of your head and really focusing on the sensations you're feeling in your body. Focus on what your partner's doing and focus on the pleasure, because orgasm is not the finish line. It's all about what does the pleasure look like and does it feel good? Our next question is, why is sex a little painful when not using a condom or lube when we've always done it this way? Women only lubricate when they're aroused, and they do not continue lubricating through the entire session of sex. Now, add to that, if your partner has a penis, penises are porous and they do not make lubricant. So if they're not using a condom, every time they penetrate you, they're slowly absorbing your own natural lubrication into their penis. That's going to cause vaginal dryness. In addition to that, a woman's natural lubrication is affected by stress, dehydration, menstruation, having kids, menopause, and a hysterectomy. Medications can also cause vaginal dryness. The easiest fix in this situation would be to use a lubricant during sex. And no, there's nothing wrong with your partner if you need a lubricant with sex. It is a totally natural and normal thing. And one of the biggest tweaks that you can make to your sex life that's simple and you get the best results right away. Lucky for y'all, I am a lube dealer. I would love to be your new lube dealer. Some of my best suggestions for lubricant are Just Like Me. It's a water-based lubricant. It is pH balanced. It's FDA cleared. It's not going to cause any irritation. There's no sticky or tacky feel, so it naturally feels just like you. And it's also lick reactivated. You lick it, it gets wet again, which is really fun. And it comes in no flavor, sugar glazed donut, and watermelon. We have a water-based lubricant with CBD, which creates more oxygen and blood flow to the area, helping you to create more of your own natural lubrication and also help with pain relief or discomfort. There's Pure Pleasure, a silicone lubricant, which is phenomenal for marathon sessions where you go 30 minutes or more. Also great for backdoor anal sex or anal play. And you can use it with your silicone toys. If you're not sure, a hybrid lubricant can also be a fun choice. That's going to be a hybrid of water and silicone. And if you have an old bottle of KY or Astroglide in your nightstand, you need to throw that shit away. That has antiseptic ingredients that can cause irritation. And there's an ingredient in there that creates a dryness, so you have to use more of the product. And that is really great for KY, but not so great for your vagina. Big thanks to everybody who asked their anonymous questions so we could share here on the episode. If you have any questions you would like to ask the sexologist, please go to selfmadediva.com and scroll down to the bottom. You will see an option to ask your anonymous questions, and I'll share the answers on a future episode. Make sure you leave a review and share this episode with your friends. Visit me at selfmadediva.com, and I can't wait to see you for the next episode of Sip with Summers.